Welcome to From the Baseline with Premier Basketball. I'm joined by Shane Laflin, Jason Key. I'm Mark Williams. We appreciate you tuning in. This episode, we're going to be previewing the Prime event. Second annual event, the Prime event. We've kind of been waiting all year for this. This is the tail end of the Prime week for us. And it's a loaded event. Jason, what is the one thing that you're most excited about for this weekend?
Bracket play, like true bracket play is the first thing I think of versus showcase. So cutthroat, you have a loaded brackets, every one of them. So extremely competitive from the jump, and you got to win to advance on the winner's bracket side. So there's no fluff games, that kind of thing. So just the format in itself and the depth of the field just dictates to great basketball from round one. I mean, it starts Saturday morning and it's full go all the way till Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely. Shane, we're going to dive into brackets. And you're probably took the lead on this. Well, you did take the lead on organizing this event last year and making it what it is this year. What is the part that you've enjoyed about bringing this event together?
I mean, I like that we rapped a little bit about kind of something we wanted to do, and we did it last year, and it came out, and we felt really successful about it. We executed it, and then we took some things and said, hey, we could do this better and get ahead. And then we're obviously throwing a giant curveball, and we adjusted and still were able to do some things we wanted to do. So just the pride that I take in our team, sitting down and saying, here's some ideas, how do we execute? And the fact that we go and put the product together. And then I think we've done a good job being, what I wouldn't call professional marketers or anything like that, marketing it well, touching a lot of people around the country. We were fortunate with the last week to have Prime Event East, so now we've got this kind of Prime Week thing going. I think we've got a lot of eyes on us. We got a lot of demand for what we're doing, and I think when we started this, the thing that I wanted the most, no matter how we did it, was I wanted winning to matter and people to kind of remember that's what we're playing for. Like you want to do some things, but you want to win. And there's events for development, there's events for competition, and this is a competitive event. And I'm not knocking development events. I'm just saying, like, that's the niche we were aiming for. So that's what we've aimed for. I think it is competitive. We just did it in another region, and it was super competitive. And then just kind of the thing I'm most excited about this weekend is obviously year two. People know what to expect, so they've built it up. They've done some of the branding and the marketing kind of for us. So we thank them, and especially those people who participated last year. But I'm ready for it to be playing because the management is overrated. And so now I'm just ready to sit back and watch some basketball on Saturday morning, and just say, okay, we've done it. We've made the stage what it is. We appreciate everybody's support. Now I want to lock in and enjoy the basketball. So I'm going to deserve those 2 days, and I'm going to have fun with that because leading up, there's a lot. It's work, and it should be, right? If you want to do something like this, you got to work at it. And so we've done it. Our team is doing what they do. It doesn't surprise anybody, but I'm always proud of it.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump into the brackets. The one thing that I've noticed just from the brackets, last year was a strong event, but this year it is loaded top to bottom. Young kids, older kids. Every bracket is tough. It's got young kids to watch. It's got older kids to know, and it's really loaded. But let's talk about the Storm bracket. We've got Texas is well represented there, with Under Armour and Nike and Adidas. We got some guests coming in outside Arkansas Bangies, EVO out of Southern Cal, San Diego area, West Coast United out of Vegas, Arizona Select, they're out of Phoenix. And thoughts from that bracket as we look at it, it's really just going to be a competitive bracket from game one.
Yeah, you start with FBC. They're the team to beat, being the defending champs. They're loaded again. So to me, they jump out right away against a gritty Texas elite team. Overall thoughts, locally, Drive Nation, Team Lex, no bragging rights game in the first round there here in the Dallas Metroplex. That other side with Arizona Select, West Coast United, EBO, Banshees, playing the Texas teams. With Cy-Fair and Texas U, West Coast United. I think that's going to be a very interesting game. Finest and EBO, interesting game. So just a lot of great matchups early. And like I said earlier, it's just going to be thick from the beginning. And it's a survive and advance type thing. Now there are, you do continue to play if you do lose in that first round, but it's going to be a battle in every game. And you can see upsets happening. I think there's some upsets that are going to surprise us. I bet you there's at least two in that first round in this top bracket.
Absolutely.
Stone bracket. Yeah.
And it's you see the left side there. A lot of the Texas teams who've had various matchups and played each other a couple times before, and then you see the national teams coming in there. Shane, what are, as you talk to Arizona Select and West Coast United, EBO, and the Banshees, what are some of the things that they've shared about why they're coming to the Prime event and what they're looking forward to?
Well, these were guys that were intrigued, with the concept last year, and just, sometimes timing works and sometimes it doesn't. Obviously, the Banshees made it to the championship game last year. This is the only event this team is playing in together this summer. So you got to really appreciate the regard in which they held the event. And then, down to the families and the players who said, no, that's something we definitely want to do. And these are committed players. So high-level players, looking forward to it. Haven't seen Jersey Wolfenbarger in a little bit. She's physically grown. I think for those who didn't know or weren't sure last year on the stage here at Prime, coming off the Under Armour circuit, she proved that she was a take no prisoners, look, I will match up against everybody type of player. And now you're talking about she's grown a few inches and added some muscle mass. So that's really intriguing for me. Those guys are well coached, well-run organization. Nate's a big supporter of this Prime event. EBOs, they wanted to play. They wanted to get in some events. Obviously, on a normal calendar, they wanted to come over and do some events. That didn't happen, and different regions of the country had a different timetable. So Marlon was like, hey, I'm locking in on this. It looks likely, and we just stayed in communication, and should be really good. It's a cool feature there. You've got Ray Caldwell leading San Antonio Finest, Southern Cal guy, match up with a Southern Cal team coming in. So that side of the bracket's got a little bit of that flair to it. West Coast United, a mix of IE kids, LA kids, Vegas kids. Nick putting together some depth over there, and they're ready to get out and play because they haven't played a whole lot. I think they played in Vegas, but I don't think they played other than that. Arizona Select, Ben reached out and just said, hey, we travel together. What are you looking at as far as your brackets or your depth? And it was early, so we had room. And it worked. And Arizona Select, they've got a lot going on there, working out of that Powerhouse Hoops facility, a lot of momentum. So we got a good side of that bracket. And then the other side, the intriguing stuff, like you said, Jay, you got FBC coming through. You got to give the defending champs, that nod of respect. But, there are no gimmies in this, and you've got teams who can play and can guard and can control tempo. Cy-Fair Premier, their entire team has not played together until this event. Chris texted me the other day, said, this will be the first time we'll be at full strength. So we appreciate that and look forward to seeing it. They've got a roster full of committed kids at very high levels, all levels. So, this is one of those things. Again, we're going to sit back and watch. We can make predictions, but I kind of don't want to. I kind of just want to watch it play out. I have an idea, but point of the bracket that this isn't about talking predictions. This is about you get yours, I get mine, we prepare, we toss the ball up. And that's where the answers happen. Figure it out in between the lines. Great life lesson. Love basketball. Meritocracy. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Let's jump over to the Mystics bracket. Still, you got Texas well represented there. EBO's bringing a team for that bracket as well. You got Oklahoma Federal Ballers out of Oklahoma. You've got the Metroplex. You got San Antonio. You got Houston. Arizona Select has a team in there. Thoughts there, Jason, on the Mystics bracket?
Yeah, watch out for the Shockers. I've seen them beat people
Absolutely.
early on. You know, it's kind of been a weird year and that, but they've beaten a lot of people. So watch out for the shout out to the North Texas Shockers. Interested to see. There's a few kids here. Urban Heroes really had some good wins last weekend here locally. And so they're playing really well, and they have a rhythm. I'm interested to see the rhythm versus rust aspect too, you know, with some of these teams that haven't got to play as much. And is there an advantage to that and that kind of thing? So that'll be interesting. And then there's some kids sprinkled throughout here that have caught my attention on locally with the DFW national team, the Urban Heroes I just mentioned, the Pro Skills national team, the Texas U team. So there's quite a few kids that are on my radar, and it'll be good context to see some of the out-of-staters we have coming in, since there hadn't been a whole lot of travel this year,
Right.
both for them, you know, for me to get eyes on them, and for our kids to see the kids I've seen earlier play new opponents.
Absolutely.
So I think this bracket could go anywhere. I mean, I gave Shockers obviously a nod there, but I truly believe there's anybody here could win this thing.
Yeah,
Just
don't sleep on
very interesting.
Magic, and then like you said, and then the momentum teams, right? So like
Yep.
Mark, you saw Federal Ballers in Tulsa, if I'm not mistaken. Okay,
I
so
did.
that's what I was intrigued about, because I have not put eyes on them myself. So that's
Yeah, and I mean, solid backcourt. Elise Hill's solid point guard. They got a couple shooters on the sides, and so, you know, interesting to see them play in this bracket. They've got HG Elite Gen coming out for the first one, but it's going to be interesting to watch because they do have some good young kids. But just, hey, from the competitiveness of like, hey, you got to win, and on the defensive end, I think is something that they're going to have to play well on. But they can definitely score. So I mean, that's a kind of a sneaky pick out of it, but really strong. You got Texas Lone Star Blue also that's had a pretty good summer, and so you know, ton of potential and really good games up and down that bracket. So, hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the Sky and the Lynx bracket, and so stay tuned with us after this break.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Athlete Vision Sports presents the most advanced new recruiting engine on the market today. Athlete Vision records all your big tournaments on high-definition video. You can show your A game to a nationwide audience, create your own player profile, or upload your own highlight videos. College recruiters have instant access to your tournament videos. Let Athlete Vision catapult you to the next level. Sign up for Athlete Vision today.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to From the Baseline with Premier Basketball. Shane Laflin, Jason Key, I'm Mark Williams. Going through the brackets here for the Prime event this weekend. The Sky bracket. This is a bracket, probably if we've talked about any bracket for this event, this is the one we've talked about the most. And really, you talk about, you know, the Storm bracket, the Mystic bracket, this bracket, like whoever wins the Sky bracket has tons of bragging rights because it is loaded up and down. And stuff. And so, Jason, what's your first thoughts when you saw the Sky bracket?
First and foremost, the depth. I mean, I think this thing has a chance to steal the show, as you're alluding to. as we go on, and just so many intriguing teams. I've heard a lot of good things about Nebraska Attack's 16U team. So that's the first name that jumps out at me. I know the Banshees have a bunch of young kids. Obviously, Joey and Cy-Fair Coop and the young Cy-Fair 2023s. I've seen them a bunch. FBC has a loaded 16U team coming. BTR has been really good. So, I mean, on and on and on it goes. Watch out for Arizona Select. Just looking at the roster and that kind of thing. So, I mean, it's every game here is it's of course it is the whole way because it's playoff format towards the championship. But I mean, every first round game here, I could see going either way. So, very, very deep bracket.
Yeah, and I got to see Nebraska Attack there at Tulsa for the top 72 and War Games, and really it's a combination of 22s and 23s who played on their 17U and their 16U team, and so it'll be good. It's kind of an early view of what potentially their top team will look like next year, and they can shoot the basketball. So it's going to be a really good matchup there as we see them play Texas Platinum there out of in the first round, and really good guard play back and forth. Shane, what's probably the matchup you're most looking forward to seeing in this bracket?
Opening round.
Yeah.
Really intrigued by Coop and West Coast United. Coop's kids compete. Obviously, Coop's fired up. He's been on social media welcoming everybody to Dallas, and
absolutely
appreciate that. Like, that's the energy we love, right? I love watching that guy coach. It's flat out love watching him coach. And then, great matchup there. Down the line, I mean, they've got to compete their way through. As far as Texas is concerned, I think, Joey's proven that it's time for them to see some other regions and some other people. So they need to handle their business. And like I said, I want to stay away from predicting the brackets because, when I watch, I just want to be a clean slate. And as I mentioned before, I'm looking forward to, Saturday morning, wiping all the production aspect out of it and just being there. Right. And so, I mean, initially, I like that one. I mean, I guess if I had to pick one in the first round, PWP Cy-Fair is another one that's going to be good. PWP does a good job of just really coaching and being ready for any situation. And Cy-Fair 16 has been one of those teams that they'll get momentum, but I've watched them, ride the roller coaster down a little bit too. And that's not a knock. It's just the way the summer's been. So that could be a really good game in the first round too, I think. Just picking out two. But like I said, I'm gonna stay away from the bracket prediction, and I just really want to be. I'm ready to watch.
Absolutely. I mean, and this is the bracket that you just want to be a fan at. The notes and the evaluation, everything else that we do. Hey, this is going to have great basketball.
That's on you guys this weekend. Have fun with that. Watch.
It's just going to be fun. But really, out of this bracket, you could see any team getting hot and going on a run and winning it in this. And so there's matchups up and down. And so really, really looking forward to that. But let's turn our attention to the Lynx bracket. Jason, what are your thoughts when you first saw the Lynx bracket?
Again, a lot of depth. Cy-Fair Bush, you put me on because you saw them before I did. They have a really good young team. So we'll be interested to see them playing teams a little bit older, and seeing how they react to that. A lot of teams I haven't there's a few teams, obviously the Arizona Select squad and I saw a little bit of Skyrise Cat, but I haven't seen West Coast United, Nebraska. A lot of flavor in there from a cross-regional matchup perspective. New Mexico Elite, who's been here a couple times and was pretty good.
Won a bracket at Super 64.
Yep, and had a really good run here in July. So loaded, and there's a good cross section of new, fresh teams for me that I haven't seen. So again, teams I've seen a ton of and gotten to play more than we even expected, I think, this summer versus teams that I haven't seen. So the cross section is what stands out to me.
Right. Shane, any thoughts from you?
A lot of well-represented programs and coaches that a lot of the coaches in this bracket have just been really excited. They've been communicating just how much they appreciate an event like this as a way to, not that it's going to be the last event that they play this summer because the fall is going to be different for different people, but they just are like, we understand the effort it takes to put something like this together. And then, because of our environment this year, we do have to have a cap. And because people are trying to get home on Sunday, we had to limit the slots. So the demand was there not only for the event, but because the availability wasn't just 100%.
Right.
So a lot of expression of that in this bracket. So I appreciate them. That means a lot when you're working, to get all this stuff together. So again, we serve a lot of programs collegially. And I think that this is one of those brackets. There's a lot of levels, and there's a chance for some kids to get on some radars going forward. I'm not the big they're going to call off and get a bunch of offers. That's just not my MO. But I think that some people get on some radars from an event like this because make no mistake, coaches are locked in on this event.
Absolutely. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We're going to talk about the last two brackets, the Sparks and the Wings. And so stay with us. Hey, welcome back. Let's dive in. The last two brackets we're going to look at tonight. The Sparks bracket. Jason, first thoughts when you saw the Sparks bracket?
Biggest value for young kids and playing in a setting like this is getting to play on this stage to understand what it's like, right? So that's the first thing I think of is these kids are playing in as big a stage almost as you can get right now, and it is great for their basketball development. So that's what I think of. Great cross section again, really elite young kids scattered throughout this thing. So it is a great primer for the next 2 to 3 years of your high school career, right? High school and those years of club ball. So that's what I think for them. Like you play to win, you play for keeps, and you develop because of it.
Absolutely. Well, it's great for them to not only play, but to experience this weekend, experience the competitiveness with all the brackets, and then be able to participate in that and just not see it. And so, Shane, thoughts on this bracket?
I'm excited to see some young teams compete, as Jason alluded to. Normally, we would say it's great for them to be in the building so they can watch the other brackets. We know this year they really can't. If they choose to, grab the live stream and stuff like that, they will be able to watch. So that part, I mean, it's nobody's fault, right? But I'm disappointed that these guys can't sit around those other courts and watch. But they have business to take care of themselves. So they will play this bracket out. Got some players on some teams here that have made some names for themselves and even garnered some offers coming off of this summer. So we've got some major appeal. And then, we've got some teams coming in that we haven't seen yet. So look forward to seeing this bracket itself play out just like the other ones, Put them together, and I'll talk about the thoughts that went into that as we wrap. But I'm ready to watch this one play out as well.
Absolutely. Last bracket, Wings bracket. Jason, thoughts?
Same thing. Young kids, go get it, right? It's in front of you. I will point out one team, that Pro Skills 13U team is for real. Yeah. So
I saw them.
Yeah, Earl's coaching them himself.
Right.
Kind of with the Joey model of bringing them up. It looks like to me, I hadn't spoke to Earl on that plan, but I would assume that's the plan.
Right.
I did speak to him, and he did talk about that he would prefer to keep them how they are throughout, right? As he's got it now and build continuity. I like to see more of that. And so really good young team, and then they're going to face all the comp they want. So it's going to be, again, loaded young bracket. And Mark, this going back to our coaching days.
Oh, yeah.
I love young kids, right? That's my specialty. I love the energy they bring. We haven't got in their way as far as competing and playing hard, no matter what the situation or score or that kind of thing is. And so I love the energy that young kids bring to the gym. So it'll be fun.
It will be, and this will be fun. Team I'm interested in this bracket is the Banshees 2025. Talking to Brian Morgan when I was in Tulsa, and he was like, man, the Oklahoma into Arkansas class of 2025, has a lot of great kids. And so, he's able to bring some of those kids together. And so I'm interested to see them. And so ton of young kids, ton of young talent in this bracket, but talent in every bracket. Fans, college coaches will not be disappointed in any of the games that you can watch this weekend. And so all the games, all the brackets will all be live streamed on Athlete Vision. Go athletesvisionsports.com and check that out. Subscribe. I think it's $10 a day for the live stream. And so, don't miss the action, even though in this COVID-19 time, fans can't stay and watch, but you can get the live stream and they'll be on demand after the event also as fans can check it out after. So,
and that live stream link is on our Twitter.
Yep.
We put it down Premier Twitter. So you go to the Premier Twitter, my Twitter, Shane, Mark's, whatever. We all have it posted. So that's out there if you direct link to the live stream.
Absolutely. So, and that will be there. And, for updates throughout the event, make sure and follow us on Twitter at PBR Hoops for the Premier account. And then you got Shane and Jason's and mine. And so we'll be putting out stuff all weekend. Brittany Graham, the Brit, will be in the building shooting it. Janine's do what?
Foreverland.
Foreverland, baby. Foreverland will be well represented. Make sure and get your gear. Janine's going to be there videoing. She was with us this past weekend there at Spooky Nook for Prime Event East. And so it's going to be a lot of fun this weekend. Great games, great competition, a lot of love and support just for the basketball community. And so we appreciate all the teams playing, those who are traveling in. Want to wish them safe travels. And we really look forward to a great weekend of basketball that kind of puts a bow on the summer. And there'll be stuff in the fall, but it's going to be a great weekend this weekend. So make sure and tune in. You don't want to miss it there. As we wrap up the show, some final thoughts as we head into the weekend. What you got, Jay?
First for me, shout out to Krista Gerlich. Watched the press conference today, getting the Texas Tech job. Super proud, just an alum, and felt like the right move, for us locally. Everybody knows I'm a huge Krista supporter here at UTA and that kind of thing, and really close with some of her staff members. So really happy for her. Interested to see. I think UTA is a tremendous job. That is a terrific job. So interested to see what direction they choose to go. And so awesome. Awesome news here within the state. I think it injected some energy, just watching a homegrown getting their shot. So awesome.
Absolutely. Shout out to Krista and really just it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch some true excitement about Texas Tech women's basketball. So Shane, any last thoughts?
One word, dominoes. Number 2, people are very excited about the UTA job. I heard from some associate ADs today asking, like, man, is this going to move fast? I mean, just out of curiosity's sake, because I think if you've been around their facilities and things and understand the depth of what the school offers, that's a really good job and a area that's growing. It's right in a there's a lot to do without having to go too far. It's just it's a good environment. Now that once athletics ponied up and got some facilities over there, that became a great job because the school educationally offers a lot across the board. and it touches, it brings kids from all over the world, and it's bigger than people realize. So the living arrangements are hard to beat as a freshman in college. It's unreal. So good job. A lot of people going after it. I heard some, like the speculation and stuff today. I was telling them, hey, I'll be honest with you, I'm wrapped in prime. I haven't even gotten to this stuff yet, but I will tell you, if you're hearing people are going after it, they're probably right, because they should be. So there'll be a lot of high-level assistant coaches that go after that job. So it'll be interesting. I'll try to catch up on some of that maybe on my drive on Friday and call some people and see what's going on. But that'll be great. The other thing in consideration, and I hope people understand that we take this seriously with the timing of registration for this event, and the fact that it did have to be limited because of the scheduling, and placement in brackets, and who projects where or whatever. There's a lot at play here, and it's not being pedantic. There's levels to this, okay? And so I sent you guys 6, 7, 8 versions, starting from napkins and pens, right? Of where we're thinking, and we tossed it back and forth, and what can be advantageous as far as what we've seen, or a player matchup or a style matchup. And you can't make your wish list of 25 things and check them all off, right? So then you prioritize, then you decide what's good for this, then you start doing the schedule grid. And so there's a lot that goes into this. So a couple thoughts. One, I called Joey today and I said, look, I don't know how you've done this for so long. It's like we're standing on shoulders of a giant. Let's just call it what it is. And moves that have been made, the opportunity that we've had to go create this from true leadership. You can't be more grateful. And we're headed to places. It's going to be fantastic. The
Dominoes.
No, we got a different word. We got a different word for that one. But then again, not that we don't listen to people and understand, but there's just some things at play that we want to make sure we're providing opportunities and stages in different aspects. And we know what we're doing. We communicate a lot about this. Prime event didn't start on Monday for me. It started January of 2018. And so the strategy to what we're doing, and then again, pulling in teams and who had to maybe maneuver and drop and change, these are moving parts. And so you just, per the time, per the matchup, per the whatever that you've got to do what you're doing big picture, you've got to make decisions sometimes. And everybody seems to be good, but there's always going to be a little bit of, why did this happen? Why did that happen? Yeah. The thing about going into that is the time to explain those things, it doesn't exist. And just roll with us sometimes. And the event's going to be great, and we appreciate everybody being there. But I just want people to understand, this is something, and I've gotten better about it. Jason's been great for me in this regard, but the fine tooth comb that I'll comb through things, sometimes you got to make a decision, you got to keep rolling. And we made some decisions, we got to go with it, And so, but we did, there was not anything that was just throw the teams on the wall where they stick on the bracket, times and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot at play here. We make it work to maximize the opportunities for the quality of the event, the stage, the people coming in to observe it. We've got a great quality group of evaluators coming in, real media, not just media. And I'm proud of it. And so we've got to, again, we take pride in what we do. So the production just, I don't want people to think that we did everything just on a whim, and just understand you just can't check everybody's list off. You just can't. You can't do it. So I just want people to understand kind of the behind the scenes thing. And you wouldn't want to take the time to have it explained to you. You don't have the time in your life either. You're doing other things. This is what we do. In Jason Key's phrase, this is what we do.
Hey, and circle back before you let us go, Mark. I know he's a big team guy, but I want to tell y'all, you got to understand how much work Shane put into this. We're
going to edit this out.
Yeah, we started talking about this concept. Shane brought it up to us a year and a half ago, somewhere around there. maybe, I mean, he may even went further than that. And he has worked tirelessly. We're support staff on this thing, proudly so. But the
Absolutely.
job you've done, Shane, is tremendous. And just want to make sure I publicly acknowledge that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And like I said, it doesn't happen without team. Doesn't happen without you, Joey, Kathy, and like I said, the platform to be able to do it. Like I said, we're standing on the shoulders of a giant. I mean,
No doubt.
this bottom line is, and the work that you guys did starting all of, I mean, it all goes together. It is a wheel of success with the service and the events and the teams and again the production of this show. I try to say it every show. It's fun to be on this.
Mhm.
I get to close the computer and I'm done. Mark has to go produce it now, right?
Mm.
So it's a team thing here. I'll go get the desk. Mark, you do the pre-production. Cool, done. Knock it out. Couple texts. Jay, we're on at 7:30. Yo, whatever. Like, I just, yeah, I work hard. But when I need something, who do I call? I call the team. So we are working hard because you give me energy back. I will absolutely not accept any individual responsibility. This is Premier Basketball. This is how we do things.
This is Shane. Shane not taking any praise. Come on, Shane. You got to
Yeah,
give it up at the same time.
It ain't happening. This ain't happening. When I'll pop the champagne and clink the glasses when like we win.
Well,
Well,
we're well on there. And you know what? The Prime event this year is going to be a lot of fun. I know it's an event that after last year, I think we started talking the next day about what is this going to look like? How can we make it better? Change taking the lead. The team's done their job. And so, really looking forward to just a great weekend of basketball. A great weekend of basketball that from the jump, you got to play. And from the jump, it is competitive. If you can take the NCAA tournament and put it in an AAU tournament, that's what the Prime event is. And so for all those who are participating, hey, we thank you. At the end of the day, wherever you're seated, you're seated. Come bring the ball, play hard, have fun. Hey, upset. If you're worried about who you got on the other end, take care of your business. Anybody can win. And so we appreciate y'all tuning into the show. Check it out this weekend. You don't want to miss it. But for Shane Laflin, Jason Key, I'm Mark Williams. We appreciate you tuning in to From the Baseline with Premier Basketball.